Hello guys, what is up? My name is Willow5ter and welcome back to Will Sportster. It is time for our post-match reaction for West Ham. I've left this one a bit longer to let my thoughts kind of sink in so I can give a real level-headed criticism, really. There's no positives from that game. I'm just going to get this quickly out of the way. David De Gea, terrible mistake. Should he stay next season? Yes. Should he be replaced in the future? Also, yes. Is David De Gea the problem and the reason why we didn't win? A lot of it. Is he the main problem and the only reason? Not at all. Does he deserve his criticism? Yes. But he's getting enough pelters thrown at him. I'm not going to be the one to continue to tear down on him, really. Enough said on that topic. It's over and done with. Yeah, a disappointing game for Manchester United. We're making the top four running hard for ourselves, even though we can still easily do it multiple points clear. But finally, at least we have some rest. Yeah. One of the reasons I feel like we have been so bad recently is just the mental, physical fatigue of playing all those games in so long as we did. And also, we got into a momentum with it, and then we lost players, and the momentum's gone, and it's now just not really been able to kick back. I'm not making that as an excuse about, obviously, a lot of teams have very, very, very tight schedules, and a lot of teams are tiring as well, but I would attribute it to part of the factor. We're gonna go firstly into Ten Hag. Yeah, first thing I'm going to say is Ten Hag is playing with 3 players, 4, if you count Malacia, that he signed. Yeah, 3 of them are starters, Anthony, Ericsson and Casemiro. Malacia is only a rotation player. Yeah, he is still working most games with 9 players that are not his. And we're here and let down Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and let down even as far back as Mourinho and Van Gaal. Yeah, he is still working with players that have time after time after time proven that they're not good enough and they do not put the fight in for Manchester United. It's just the fact. Yeah. And you can say, oh, Emery's gone to Villa, he's imposed his style. But you've seen at times we have imposed the Ten Hag style, and a lot of the time these players have proven once again that they are not good enough to do that. I think Ten Hag, from where we were last season, remember how we were under Ragnick to where we are now, is a 10-fold improvement, and it's a 10 times better season than any of us could have wished for. Yeah, the time to judge Erik Ten Hag is after season 2 or 3. If he's not implemented that style after 2 or 3 with 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, maybe even 15 signings, then is the time to judge him. He is not the one who's, if we bottle this top 4, he is not the one that's going to bottle top 4. Yeah, it is the players. The players have had strong enough teams out there to beat these teams, and they have not been clinical enough with their chances. As I keep reiterating, we need a number 9. We're not clinical enough. It's just a fact. It's plain to see. We do not score anywhere near enough goals, and that is not down to Erik Ten Hag. He's got bloody Martial and Weghorst as strikers. Yeah, they're abysmal. Both of them. I love Weghorst. I like him. He's abysmal. It's as simple as that. But yeah, we're gonna split into 3 sections right about now. Firstly, we're gonna talk about the Anthony right back situation. Secondly, we're going to talk about Marcus Rashford. And thirdly, we're going to talk about the Weghorst experiment. I'll start with the Weghorst experiment. I saw a lot of people criticising Ten Hag, saying he's pushing people out of position to accommodate Weghorst. That's not what he's doing. He was doing a tactical switch there, yeah, and you could understand what he was doing. In recent games, we have been doing a lot of booting the ball long. De Gea has been booting the ball long, yeah, and players aren't winning headers. Yeah, it's as simple as that. The goal for Tottenham, That was it. The goal for Tottenham. Yeah. Ball's booted long to Rashford. Rashford doesn't win the header. It bounces straight back to the defence. They score. We do not win enough headers. Yeah, we have a very small midfield and a very small attack going forward. Casemiro's tall, Rashford's tall. Yeah, what he tried to do is he tried to put Rashford up top and Weghorst there. De Gea boots the ball long. Weghorst has a chance of winning a header. He's 6'7" or whatever he is. Yeah, he's a mountain of a man. He should be competing with Declan Rice and Thomas Souček for those headers. You've got Bruno and Eriksen on Souček and Rice and the ball's going long. They're winning one header out of 50. Yeah, at least Weghorst has a decent chance of winning those headers off those long balls. And if he can win those headers, he can flick the ball over the defence to Rashford running through, which is clearly our only route to goal at the moment, is Marcus Rashford running in behind. You can see what he's trying to do. Yeah, it just did not work. Is it his fault it did not work? Yes and no. Yes, because you can say, just don't boot the ball long, hit the channels, blah, 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 blah. Weghorst is clearly not good enough. He should have put him in that position. But he trusts a player he has signed to do that role. Weghorst was dog shit. That's not his fault. Weghorst played dog shit. Not his fault. Yeah, he was given a role and a job, and it clearly didn't work. We move on. We don't talk about it. It's done. Yeah. Could it have worked? Absolutely. You can see what he's trying to do. You can see it if you just look at the game and analyse it. Yeah, it's not that hard to see what Erik ten Hag was trying to do. Yeah. Boys, after the game, said United looked leggy, and that's testament to playing Thursday night to Sunday night. Agree with him. Yeah, it is. And Moyes is saying that not to be nice to United. He's saying that because he is a man who's also playing Thursday night European games and has struggled with it this season. Yeah, he's not saying that as a backup to help United. He's saying on the back to try and help himself. Because if a manager's saying about it an opposing team, yeah, he's also meaning it for his own team, and he's trying to get it to affect his own team. Yeah, it is what it is. It's like what Klopp did with the penalty situation, but he did it in a negative way. Yeah, you can see what Ten Hag was trying to do. We looked leggy. It's as simple as that. Yeah, he is the man. Stop trying to make a scapegoat. Manchester United, there's always got to be a scapegoat. Not Rashford. Casemiro, De Gea, Ten Hag, Shaw. There's always got to be a scapegoat. Sometimes it's just a bad performance. Yeah, collectively was bad, as we have been for so long. Yeah, people just need to get that in their head. Secondly, we're now going to move on to Antony. Something that I've picked up from Antony in these recent games is he does not play well with Wan-Bissaka behind him. I don't think he trusts Wan-Bissaka, and he hasn't got that connection with Wan-Bissaka. You can see on the left when Rashford plays with Shaw, Rashford plays better next to Shaw because he trusts him, he can communicate, and he knows what he's going to do. Antony plays better on that right-hand side with Dalot. Yeah, he trusts Dalot, he has a communication and an understanding with Dalot, and he can communicate with Dalot. Yeah, stop getting on Antony's back. Yeah, it's his first season in English football. Yeah, and as much as he may not be getting as many goals and assists as he do, yeah, the price tag isn't his fault, but he provides balance to that team. Yeah, and he tries his arse off. Yeah, I know we can talk about the Weghorst trying his arse off, but it's not good enough. But Antony makes things happen. Yeah, whether he's not the assister or the goal scorer, yeah, he offers a threat on that other side that defenders are scared of. Yeah, Rice was essentially man-marking him for half of that first half because they were petrified of him. Yeah, yes, he had a poor second half. Yeah, but Antony makes things happen on that right-hand side. When Bruno's on the right or Sancho's on the right, it is nowhere near as much as a threat as when Antony's on that right. Bring Diallo, Ahmad, into that next year, and we can have a proper solid right. Greenwood, if he comes back, I'm not going to talk about that now. I'm not going to open that can of worms in this video. But there is the options there for two. Brilliant for me, right wingers next season. And Antony will only grow, will only get better when the team transitions into a Ten Hag style of play. You're still thinking we're still technically playing Ollie ball half the time because of the limitations of our players. When we fully transition into a Ten Hag style of play, Antony will come and shine, especially with a competent right back behind him. Wan-Bissaka's been good. He's still gormless as all. Yeah, he's not United's solution. Yeah, he's one of those players that will play at a Crystal Palace, will be their best player for so long, and will just never ever get out when we get rid of him. It's like Wilfried Zaha. Came, failed, shone, never moved. That's what happened with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A Real Madrid isn't going to go sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A Liverpool aren't going to. A Chelsea, a City, none of them will go near him. Yeah, it's just the way it is. And we need. I love Dalot, but I don't think we've seen enough of him this season kicking on to say that he should be our starting right back. I feel like a Jeremy Frimpong could be that option, and if he can create a understanding with Anthony or even a Jurrien Timber, it could be devastating on that right hand side. But yeah, Anthony doesn't play well with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Even though Aaron Wan-Bissaka's been the right back in form, it doesn't work. That partnership just isn't there. And lastly, I saw a United fan on Twitter who was a big fan of this particular player call him out, and a lot of people agreed with him, and it is exactly what I've been saying for so long. Yeah, I've been praising him recently because he's been playing well and scoring goals. But Marcus Rashford, that lad's attitude stinks. It reeks. It does. Yeah, he's Mank, born and bred. He's scoring all these goals. His attitude stinks. He does not have the attitude of a Manchester United fan who's played for the club since they were a little toddler. Yeah. He only plays well if the conditions are perfect. He doesn't fight. He doesn't lead by example. He moans and complains. His just attitude stinks. I'm not going to go into it any more than that. I've done 12 minutes of just being absolute negative Nancy. Yeah, and it doesn't fill me with good. I don't like being negative. I don't want to, but I feel like after a result like that, we have to be level-headed negativeness. And it's just a fact. I argue, my gran's a United fan. She loves Rashford. We argue every weekend over that boy. She's like, oh, but he's scoring all our goals. But his attitude stinks. It reeks. It just does. I can't say any more. It just does. I've been saying it for so long on Twitter, to friends, to videos, and I get slandered, but people are now beginning to realise that he is. I've known it from people telling me behind the scenes. Yeah, from people that I know that are close to the club, people that have worked with him individually. Yeah. I'm not going to say what because it's not my place to, because I get told these things out of confidence. But from what I know, his attitude stinks, and you're beginning to see it more and more on the pitch. And I've said it for a while. Yeah, he's a bit part player. He doesn't put his all in every single game he steps on that pitch, like he says in interviews. But yeah, I'm going to stop being negative. We lost the game. It's a game we should have won. It's disappointing. We got to pick back up. We got to fight. We've got plenty of rest in between games now. We have to get in some good training sessions. We've got to reorganise ourselves and get back on the saddle. And hopefully by the summer, the Glazers will have fucked off and we can sign some players. But yeah, I've been Willow Wolf 5. Thank you for listening to us, Sportster. Hopefully, I'll catch you again soon. Thank you for watching. See you then.
What is Sweezy? Bomb times.